everybody. This week, I want to talk a little bit about what happens when everything is going wrong and you're just not catching fish. So one of the things that I've done in the past is I keep a log, like a journal, and I just put down where I went fishing, the time, the date, what I used for bait, what the weather looked like, just a very basic idea of what the fishing conditions were. I believe when you have a log like that, it allows you to go back and reflect previously to see what worked and what didn't. By doing that over a long period of time, I don't know if it's just your brain that starts to understand it or you just get better at figuring out where to go when. It really helped me a lot and I enjoyed the challenge of trying to figure out, okay, the weather is like this, the tide is like this, I have this for bait, what do I do? And really, you think after a while you kind of memorize it, but having that log to fall back on is super important because you're really not going to remember what happened 10, 15 years ago. And being able to look and reflect back on it, it really helps you to figure out what's going wrong when you're in a slump. Later on in this video, I'm going to talk to my dad a little more about a particular fishing tournament where we had absolutely horrible luck and nothing went right and what we took away from that. And also my dad shares a little bit about what he believes is good to see when you're fishing and what he believes indicates it might be a pretty good day for fishing. So let's get into that.
I remember when you were younger and we entered this tournament. Our luck was so bad that we couldn't even catch bait.
That was embarrassing.
We couldn't catch a jumping jack. We couldn't catch anything.
I remember I was hooking up the halaloo and the sardines, but for the life of me, I couldn't get the stupid fish into the bait bucket. Like they all came off. I don't know what.
Yeah, I couldn't even catch an eel.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
Mm-hmm. It was just not happening.
Yeah, I mean, we caught nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So, it works both ways.
Wasn't that the time where you and I looked at each other before the weigh-in and you said, gotta bring something. So you went to get like sardines or a can of tuna or something stupid.
That's all we could get. So you gotta take the good with the bad,
Mm-hmm.
but if you go enough, the odds will stack up on your side.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll catch your share. So I guess the trick is not to give up. You keep going and the odds will get better.
I remember you telling me when I was really young, just learning was sooner or later you go enough, you're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I think that's what.
And it takes a while, but the little things that make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And when you figure it out, you're going to wonder like, why is it so hard? But before that, it is hard.
Mm-hmm.
So,
what are some of the things that when you're at the beach, you just look at and you kind of can go, I think today is going to be a good day?
One of the first things I look at is where the sand is. Or how much sand is on the beach, how much sand is in the water. And then I look for stuff like crabs. If there's no crabs on the beach, something's wrong. If I don't see any sign of life, something's wrong. And it's kind of signals to me that maybe today's not going to be that great. But then sometimes you go down and there's so many crabs on the beach and you see a lot of sand turtles in the waves and wow, there's fish out here.
Mm-hmm.
And you see that before you even get to the water.
Mm-hmm. Before you start casting.
Yeah, so it's just the little things. And I think you've kind of figured it out pretty well. So now it's easy. Now it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
So now go teach somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's the important part.
I hope you folks enjoyed this week's episode. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave it in the comments.